So I gotta say, I always wanted to know more about Charlotte, right? I mean, she's a girl that does not like men, but surprisingly likes Yami, odd enough, out of all the men she could possibly like. And you've always wondered why, right? That's been the biggest question. You know, characters like hers are always kind of cool because you can add a lot of, context, circumstances that make up her situation, essentially. So whenever I looked at this episode and I saw that she actually likes Yami because Yami was the one that, saved her and broke the curse and, kind of said, hey, listen, I like tough girls, sure, but everyone needs help, every once in a while. It showed that Yami can be that guy that she despises. She kind of states that in a way. But he's also a guy that's genuine. He's someone who's real. He's someone who doesn't just judge you by your appearance. And that's what everyone else did. She had random nobles just getting down one knee and proposing just because she's beautiful. To me personally, the thing that some people may have missed, and something that even could have been written maybe a little bit better, was say, hey, I don't like men because they don't respect me. They just see me as a girl. They see me as an item. And that's kind of what happened in this episode when that one royal came over and just said, come with me, and just grabbed her. She's like, what, you thought you could approach me like that just because I'm a woman? And, that's kind of why she doesn't like men, because they don't have respect, it seems, is the best way to put it. And Yami doesn't either, but at least most of the time he doesn't really. But nonetheless, he's a genuine person. He is real. He's not someone who's gonna treat you bad. He's someone who says, hey, I like tough girls, but I think it's all right for people to ask for help. And I guess at the end of the day, Charlotte did say a little bit more to insinuate her issue with guys, kind of, if I went back and watched it. So can't remember what she said word for word, but I do remember she did kind of say, hey, men are just all the same. So that was just after those two guys or nobles proposed to her. So looking at other things, the manga didn't even have the cosplay in it. It didn't have the cosplay contest. It just went straight to the drinking. Whenever I looked at the panel by panel for this chapter, that the manga would be for this anime episode, and I noticed that from what I saw, unless I missed something, it never had the cosplay. It just had straight up drinking contest. And I gotta say, anime, why'd you have to tease us? Everyone knows what Charlotte be like, but Vanessa be like, but Charlotte, you could at least had round 2. You could have went through with round 2. Come on, man. If you're going to do fan service, you might as well do it right. But, that's just me, especially on specific girls like Mimosa and Charlotte. Okay, let's get serious. Fantasizing done. Over with. So, hopping on to the next thing, though, we did see that, and I probably should have added this in to the last thing I said, actually, but not Vanessa, but Charlotte actually was cursed, and that was pretty cool to see that she was cursed, but I want to know more about that. Who cursed her? Why did they curse her? That's something that could have been added in, and that's a detail that show like My Hero Academia wouldn't have missed, and that's something that I like to talk about, because Black Clover does a lot of things that My Hero Academia does. Black Clover is what I call short, simple, and precise. And for such a big cast, that's A-okay. You can be short, simple, and precise. That's absolutely positively fine, because you're adding depth. You're giving characterization to characters that aren't always on screen. So now we at least understand them. Whether it be a little bit or a lot of it, we still understand them. We're still getting to know their features and why their features are what they are. And that's something that 99% of shows fail to do. They just don't add characterization at all. And I think that's what kind of makes Black Clover good. I think Black Clover is a really good show. Don't know if it's an A-rank show like some of the other shows, but it does things. I really, in a lot of ways, I feel personally that it falls to My Hero Academia model of making sure we give characterization, making sure we give some development, whether it's a lot or not. The little things add up when you have a big cast, and it makes you appreciate all of it. A little writing, a little in-depth writing can go a long way for such a big cast rather than a short cast. If I was referring to a show like, Rising of a Shield Hero, I want my characters to have depth. I want depth to them because the cast isn't that big. You know what I mean? So I look at a show like Promised Neverland. I can't really necessarily say I want depth to the characters because the narrative isn't set up that way. So I'm not saying all shows that don't have, in-depth characters on small cast are bad, because character chemistry plays a role too. But if I look at, like Attack on Titan per se, it's not like we know who our main cast is. Those are the characters we want characterization to. Those are the characters we want character development to. It's a big cast, but it's not like Black Clover big, nonetheless, but that's just an example. So, other than that, though, I don't know. This is a pretty calm, tame episode of Black Clover. Once again, the opening. I don't know if I mentioned this last time. I'll probably have to reiterate it in the next video I do for this, depending on how far people watch into the video. Once again, Black Clover just nails his openings continuously, man. And there's so much animation in the Black Clover openings. I'm really impressed with that. But other than that, on top of that, the ED, the insert song that they use at the end, and the ED in general was very, very nice. Enjoyed that, and I'm enjoying this kind of like, I don't know if I want to say it's not technically filler, it's canon, but the slow down arc. You know, this is the first time Black Clover's had, I think, three episodes in a row that were actually kind of just slice of life. You know, I mean, we had the episode before this and episode before this one, right? When Konoha showed up and her brother Yami fighting the Green Mantis captain this episode, and then even next episode. So we haven't gotten a lot of stuff going on. First time I think Black Clover has actually done more than one episode of kind of like filler-esque. You know, even though it's canon, it's in the manga, but filler-esque kind of shows, or excuse me, episodes. So other than that, though, guys, be sure to leave a like, come subscribe, follow on Twitter at Hex25. Whew, I'm struggling, boys. I'm struggling at the end of the video at Hex25. See you guys next time. Peace. Thanks for watching, guys.